I'm just gonna kind of open up and tell you what kinds of things I do that are bad for my self-esteem as a musician, and I'm gonna tell you what you can do and what I should do to improve your self-esteem and be more confident. The first thing I do that is awful for my self-esteem as a musician is I don't punish myself, but I get angry at myself when I do something wrong. So, like, maybe a half hour ago, I tried to record a bunch of guitar solos, several different songs, several different genres, and none of them turned out the way I wanted them to. They were either full of mistakes that were hard to edit out, or just lifeless and boring. And I didn't really have the right equipment for a microphone unless I spent like 2 hours on GarageBand, and I don't want to do that. I went with the being angry at myself route, and I was like,
"You're cringy. No one wants to see this."
you know, and I think when we do this, when us musicians do this, it it kind of blocks our confidence, and it makes us feel like, well, maybe I really can't do that. Maybe that piece really is too hard for me. I'm not good enough for this. I'm not skilled enough. I haven't practiced enough. And I say all of those things in my head a lot. Now I'm going to tell you what you can do to kind of reverse that mindset and shift it back to, where you want it to be. How you can empower yourself to change that mindset. What you can do is instead replace those negative thoughts with positive thoughts. So if you think you're trying to play a piece on piano, and this really goes for any type of artist. You don't have to be a musician necessarily. Either you can be a visual artist, or you could be a dancer, or anything that you put your hard work into. But let's just say you're learning a piano piece and you say, this is too hard for me. I can't do this. Instead of saying that, you can say, this is hard, but I just need to practice it a lot, and I know I can do it if I practice. And it's not easy, because whenever we say these things, I don't know about you, but it just kind of makes me feel like I'm daydreaming about something that'll never happen when I try to put positive thoughts in my mind. But for this, your daydreams are going to come true, because if you think positive thoughts, you will act upon those positive thoughts. Number two, the second thing I do that's really bad for my self-esteem as a musician is comparing myself to other musicians. This is an awful thing that I do. And I mean, I'm a teenage girl. I already compare myself to other people. So as a musician, well, double trouble. I mean, whenever I hear somebody who has a really, really, really nice singing voice, I'm like, my voice is ugly compared to that. I see somebody flawlessly play a guitar solo. I'm like, I never play it perfectly. That kind of thing. I'm not good enough for this. They're better than me. This is another trap that we fall into. What you can do to fix this is just think about, well, I'm not her or him. I'm not them. I'm not that person. They're not me. We're different, We have different abilities. Maybe an athlete, maybe some guy on your soccer team or whatever, could be a girl, anybody, maybe their legs are longer than yours. And that's just something none of us can help. So I shouldn't either. I shouldn't beat myself up about things like that. Nobody should. Another thing, even if they're not like genetically born with that talent, everybody has to work for a goal, or else they just don't achieve that goal. And you have the ability to also work for that goal. It's easy to kind of want to one up somebody and be like,
Oh yeah? Well, guess what? I bet I can play this better than you.
but no, that doesn't work either, and that's not gonna help our mindset in any way, or our hearts, because we want to have a heart of love and not a heart of revenge and trying to be better than somebody else. And finally, the third thing I do as a musician that isn't good for my self-esteem is I don't have enough fun with my music. Whenever school starts and I'm overloaded with homework, well, whenever I practice, it's work, it's a chore, and it's not fun, and that's not how it should be. Practicing should never be a chore or a task that you are dreading doing. And I mean, I've been playing the piano and the harp ever since I was about 7, and I hated practicing probably for 3 or 4 years, and sometimes I still don't like to practice. But I just remember it makes me better, and if I can just connect with my instrument, you know, if I can really connect with it, really just whenever I look at my harp, I just think, well, how do I play this? How is it possible that I, just me, a normal human being, can play this? It's incredible. I and whenever I hear the music flooding from the strings of my guitars or my harp, or whenever I hear myself sing something that I'm proud of, that's what makes it fun. The joy in creating music and sound, and it's your own unique sound. That is what you should think about rather than this is a chore. Because it damages your self-esteem to think that it's a chore. Because, you know, I think, well, if it's a chore and I don't like it, well, I'm wasting my time. I could be doing something better. So that's just something that I wanted to share with you. And I've been struggling with it a lot, but of course, I'm no expert on music or psychology or anything like that. But I really hope it helped you, and I just hope that I can overcome these things also. I really appreciate you watching this, and if you want more music videos and musician videos, nature, life, mostly music videos, please subscribe to Amelia the Avocado, and I try to upload around every Saturday, Sunday, Monday, at least once a week. I don't get around to it all the time, but I try. So thank you so, so much.